Hi dear parents, welcome back to another Algebra Math Hour. Today I'm going to teach you how to do more inequalities with two steps factoring, two steps equations. It's the same technique, except just an additional step is needed. Let me show you how to do some. Let's begin. So let's take the first one right over here. Here we go. We got 6 plus 3r is greater than and equal to minus 15. So we're going to have to solve for r. Let's use blue color here. So let's see, we got 6 plus 3r is greater than and equal to minus 15. Again, as always, I tell the students, missing number on the left, everything else on the right. So 3r stays on the left side, minus 15 stays on the right side, and of course plus 6 jumps and becomes minus 6. And now you're going to get 3r greater than and equal to minus 15 minus 6 is minus 21. Now r needs to be independent. R has family, 3. We got to get rid of that 3. How do you do it? You divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 is just r greater than equal to, and minus 7 divided by 3 is minus 7. And there we go. We have solved for r. R is greater than and equal to minus 7. So to put on the number line, you find minus 7, and you know it's an equal sign, which means you're going to have to fill in that circle. And since they're saying that the r is greater than minus 7, you're going to draw a line with all the numbers bigger than minus 7. And you finish it up with your arrowhead. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you solve this particular equation. R bigger than equal to minus 7, graphed on the number line. Let's try another example. I'll delete this. Let's try a fraction one. Here we go. As you can see, looks complicated, but again, we'll just use step-by-step techniques that we always use. So we have minus 2 plus x over 6 is less than 7. Now, again, as always, I tell the kids, take a look. This is a fraction, but this is not a fraction. So you got to turn minus 2 into a fraction. So in order to turn minus 2 into a fraction, you could do minus 2 over 1. But you know what? That's complicated. Let's not do that right now. Let's just do it the old-fashioned way first. I'm going to do my left and right technique. And I'll tell you why. Because it's a little bit easier. Let me show you first. So on my left side, I'm going to keep my missing number, which is x over 6. It's family. You got to keep them together. Less than. And on my right, 7. And minus 2 jumps over and becomes plus 2, which is x over 6 less than 9. Now, ladies and gentlemen, take a look. This is a fraction, and this is not a fraction. So you got to turn 9 into a fraction. How do you do that? You simply do 9 divided by 1 and do the famous cross multiplication technique. So now x multiplied by 1 is just good old x less than, and 6 times 9 is 54. And there we go. X is less than 54 is our answer. Now, I could have done the same thing on this side when I did over 1. I could have done it that way, but it would have taken much longer, and I would have to add fractions, and it would have been more complicated. This way is much faster. Okay, so x is less than 54, so that means I got to circle 54. It's less than and not equal to, so I leave the circle alone. And I do numbers less than 54, which is 53, 52, 51, all the way down. And there we go. That's our answer. Oops, didn't come out. There we go. And that's our answer, ladies and gentlemen. X less than 54. And that's how you solve this. Simple as that. Okay, same techniques we're using. Let's erase this. Let's try another problem. Yeah, let's try this one. Same thing. 20 is greater than and less than, greater than and equal to 4 plus 2n. Alright, same thing. Left and right. Best way to do this. 2n's on the right side. Let's jump over and becomes minus 2n. Greater than and equal to 4 stays on the right side. 20 jumps over and becomes minus 20. Minus 2n is greater than and equal to 4 minus 20, which is minus 16. And now, as you can see, n has family with it. N is also a negative number, which is a no-no. We've got to make that a positive number. So what we're going to do, we'll divide both sides by -2 and -2. Now, -2 divided by -2 is n. N is now positive. Wonderful. -16 divided by -2 is 8. All right, not too bad. And what happens to the inequality sign? Well, if n was a negative number, and n is a negative number, what we're going to do is that we'll change the sign in the other way around. We're going to flip it over. So now it's going to be n less than and equal to 8. And that is our answer. Okay? Anytime the missing number has a negative sign in front of it, you're going to have to flip the inequality sign. Always. That's the rule. So now let's graph this. N is less than equal to 8. Here's my 8. Wrong color. Let me use red. It's equal, so which means I'm going to have to fill in that circle. And n is less than 8. So we're talking 7, 6, 5, 4, and so on. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have graphed our answer on the number line. N less than equal to 8. So you see, as you can see, it's simple, following the simple techniques again and again and again. Just with a couple of rules to remember. And finally, let's try this one. This looks a little complicated, but trust me, it's not. S minus 13 over 16 is greater than -2. Now, again, this side is a fraction, this side is not a fraction, so we're going to have to turn -2 into a fraction. And how do you do that? You just do divided by 1. And now you simply do cross multiplication technique. S minus 13 multiplied by 1 is just good old S minus 13. And you keep the greater than sign, and then you do 16 times -2, which is -32. And now, same thing, left and right side. Solve for S. So let me take my green color. S stays on the left side. Everything else goes on the right side. -32 and plus 13, because 13 jumps over. And S is greater than -32 plus 13 is -19. Is that correct? Yeah, -19. So there we go. That's our answer. S is greater than -19. So now we find -19, highlight it. Do I need to fill it in? Nope, because there's no equal sign. And now I just need to find numbers bigger than -19. And those numbers are -18, 17, 16, 15, 14, all the way down. And of course, finish it off with the arrowhead. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you solve inequalities. Whether it's one step or two steps or multiple steps, it's the same technique. Find the missing number, put it on the line graph. If it's equal, color the circle in. If it's not equal, leave the circle alone. If there's a minus sign in front of the missing number, then you've got to make it positive. And whatever inequality you have here, you got to flip it around. These basic rules you just have to remember. And this is how you do inequalities in algebra. Thank you.